Okay. Ooh, sorry. Ooh, close up. We are looking at the fourth and final example for Algebra 2-7, simplifying radicals. So this example 4 here. This one is different from all the others, not only because it has a giant number, but it also has a fraction. And, you know, we're all terrified of fractions because fractions are scary. So you have a couple of options as to how you can first approach this. You can totally first jump into simplifying the square root of 588, which we can definitely do. Or you can remember what we learned about division of radicals, and if those radicals or their square roots have the same index, you can divide them, which we do actually have here. So I'm going to actually see what happens when I take 588 and divide it by 3. Ooh, that gives me the square root of 196, which I like. So here I'm starting off, and I'm going to start with this division. Notice I'm leaving the 2 out because it's not in a square root. The 2 cannot be divided by a square root. It has to be in a square root. So really, that 2 is still on the bottom of my fraction. And 588 divided by 3 would give me the square root of, like the calculator said, 196. But that would have to be on the top because clearly 588 is bigger and that's on the top. So the 196 would be left on the top. You know, if I divided by the square root of 3 divided by the square root of 3 kind of thing. And so then it might be jumping out at you immediately that 196 is a perfect square. And if it's not, you just want to get in the habit of checking it. Boom. 14 divided by 2 is equal to 7. Final simplified answer. Now, I am going to show you the other way to get to there because that was a little too quick, and I doubt that many of you would recognize that as something you could possibly do. So let's take a look at the other way, just in case. So the other way involved us starting by looking at the factors of 588. 588. Oops, buttons all over the place. All right, so 21 and 28, but neither of those are perfect squares. 14 and 42, 12 and 49. But again, remember with that 12 from last time, I know that there's a bigger number out there because 12 has this perfect square factor of 4. 7 and 84, those aren't perfect squares though. There it is, 3 and 196. And that makes complete sense because I got 196 when I divided 588 by the square root of 3. So if I continue onward here, I have the square root of 588 divided by 2 square roots of 3. That was my original, example 4 here. So I'm breaking that square root of 588 up into the square root of 3 times the square root of 196, still keeping our fraction of 2 square roots of 3. Moving onward here, just like when I have a number being divided by itself, that cancels out to 1. So the square root of 3 divided by the square root of 3 gives me 1. We know that the square root of 196 turns into 14. I still have 2 on the bottom, still leaving me with that final answer of 7. Just a different way to get there. Not necessarily easier or longer or shorter, just another way to get there.